up, guys? Welcome back to the vault. It's Monday, and last Friday I had the wild idea to ask the community manager, Rhys, a few questions about some of the things we've been talking about on my channel, like VPNs and bots and Clockgate and the new web app that's coming out. And since he does so many AMAs and Q&As in Discord already and interviews on YouTube, I didn't want to try to take up his time and do a face-to-face interview. So I just asked him a few questions and crossed my fingers and hoped that I would get a reply. And surprisingly, yesterday when I opened my Discord, I noticed that he had seen my questions and answered each one individually with a lot of detail. So I was very happy to see that and impressed with his communication, and I wanted to bring you guys all the information that he gave me. Before we get into all of Rhys's answers, there were some new details uncovered about the upcoming Serial Killers drop by Ron English from David Yu's Instagram. You can see in some of his replies some new information about how many are actually going to be dropped this week. Here he says he needs to see what limits they're putting on the set, and from his understanding it's going to be a lower edition run, but they can't go too extremely low, and they know that a number of collectors are going to want to complete the entire edition, the entire set of 12 serial killers, but it seems like there's only going to be 4 released this week. You can see here the person asks, so are we only getting 4 from the set? And Mr. Yu replies, I think there is 12 plus 1 secret rare or 11 plus 1 secret rare that will come out every month, so I think that's maybe 4 per month. That equals 12. The whole set will complete the picture of the last fat breakfast from Ron's original image. So if you look at that original image, the last breakfast, fat breakfast, you can see that there are 11 characters in the picture. So it seems like the set is 11 characters plus 1 secret rare, so for a total of 12. And if you look at the set of 12, you can see that the one that's missing from the last fat supper is Cocoa Puffed Paunch. So apparently he's going to be the secret rare from all the information I've gathered so far. You can also see here on Instagram where somebody is asking about the price of the commons, and Mr. Yu replies that Ron is under our artist series, which is part of the Artist's Alley, and the commons will most likely be $39.99. So you can expect low edition numbers, and like I said, you can expect only 4 to be released this week, because if they released 12 of them and all the commons were $39.99, that would be hard for people to obtain. If you remember sets like Murmurcornos and Cryptkins, the commons were like $12 and the uncommons were like $15. So with the commons being $39.99, that makes sense that they're only releasing 4 at a time. Alright, so as I mentioned in the opening, on Friday I sent a direct message through Discord to the VeVe community manager, Rhys Skellern, and this is what I wrote to him. Hi Rhys, can I ask you some questions about app security for my YouTube channel? If you're able to answer them, I would then screenshot them and use them in an upcoming video. I think some of the information you provide, especially on VPNs for example, could put users' minds at ease. The questions I had in mind are... And then yesterday morning I received a long reply from Mr. Skellern answering the questions, and it started off with, hey mate, a lot of this kind of information isn't made public just so that we aren't giving anyone an unfair chance or advantage over the system, and the majority of the rest is more of a tech or developer's question than it is my personal knowledge, so I'm not sure if this will actually help you or not, but I'll answer what I can. But I do think he gave me some good information, a little bit of new information at the end, and some great answers. Okay guys, so the first question I asked Rhys was, how prevalent do you think the use of VPNs are on VeVe, and do you think they are even effective? Would somebody spoofing themselves closer to an Ecomi server, for example, give them an advantage in the drop? Rhys replied to that question by saying, a lot of people tried using them, VPNs, in the early days to get the China locked collectibles, and it didn't make any difference. Not sure on the VPN closer to a server thing. I haven't heard of anyone trying it, but I'm also not sure if it would make any difference, as it's still got to ping back to your location. And this is consistent with what a few people said in my comments about VPNs. You can see here Vernal Tim said VPN is a lot slower than your Wi-Fi, so I don't know if it will make a real difference. And Unrat said VPN will always decrease your internet speed, although it's not always noticeable. So it seems like VPNs aren't really going to be an issue going forward, that people are going to be able to get an advantage in drops or even in China exclusives in the future. The next question I asked was about bots. What bots do you know of that are being used on the VeVe app? The only ones I've heard of are bots that send a person a message on Telegram when an NFT is listed on the marketplace for a price lower than the current lowest buy now price. I'm sure that there are ones that just automatically purchase NFTs listed well below floor price the second they make the market, which seems unfair. Would a bot like that be against the terms of service? And Rhys's reply to that was, a bot making purchases is against the terms of services. So it seems like any bot used to actually push buttons on the app is against the terms of services, but maybe having a bot or some kind of program that watches the prices and then sends you messages when prices are low, like I've seen before in the past, may be something that's allowed. I'm not 100% sure about that though. The next question I asked was a little bit of a technical question about emulators. It really has a definition of pretty much any program that you're using on top of another program. So my question was, in terms of emulators, any bot would be considered an emulator, but so is the program that I use to record my screen. Will all emulators be banned from use on the VeVe app, or are there some exceptions? Rhys's answer to that question was, not sure on the emulator side of things. I think it's more referring to people using emulators to access the app, like if their phone doesn't support VeVe, for example. I think another example would be trying to access the app from their computer. The mechanisms employed to cut down the bots will also cut out the emulators, but I'm not sure on whether that goes as far as a screen recording like mine, or how those interact with the app. So hopefully, since my screen recorder doesn't really interact with the app, it just records the screen, that it won't be banned. My next question was in regards to the ability to move your clock forward, allowing the buy now button to pop up early on drop days. I asked if they were going to patch that, and Rhys's answer to that was, not sure, there are other priorities at the moment, I would think. So it doesn't sound like they're going to try to patch that anytime soon, so I'm going to use that myself on this upcoming drop, especially if it's a low edition drop. And my strategy will be to go for commons or uncommons and try to get a 2-digit serial number if I'm lucky. My next question was, another strategy that I've come across recently is using an adapter to connect your phone to your router via Ethernet cable. I'm assuming this is completely fine and not against any rules. And this is in regards to the adapters that I've been talking about lately, that you can connect your Ethernet cable to your router and then to your phone, and you're able to get faster internet speed. I've asked a couple people about it, and they've said that they've gotten faster speed from that, and there's others who said they've gotten slower speed from that. And Rhys's answer to that was, this is just connecting your phone to the internet, so no. Which was a pretty obvious answer, and makes me realize that was kind of a dumb question to ask, because obviously you're just connecting your phone to the internet. And I think the final question is where I got the most new and valuable information. It was about the new web application that they're developing, and my question was, will the upcoming VeVe web application be for showrooms only? Some people, including myself, worry that if drops in the marketplace are accessible through the web application, bots will dominate the platform. And Mr. Skellern's answer to that was, the first iteration of the web app will mirror the phone app, just on PC. This opens us up to a much wider audience, and over the long term really enhances the capabilities of the platform and what we can do with it. It won't make any difference regarding bots, because their developers are onto it and their backend is sophisticated enough that they can identify and cut them out. So that's pretty reassuring to hear. I was worried about bots taking over once it hits the web app, but it sounds like they're already ready to fight those bots and win. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Rhys Skellern for answering my questions and giving us such great information. And I hope everybody has a great week and gets a lot of great serial killers on Thursday. See y'all next time.